This is Voyager, and welcome to our ICW adventure. We're into our second week of sailing the ICW, and another minor crisis struck. We lost a fan belt on one of our engines. We replaced the shredded mess with our only spare. So with strong currents and traffic on the ICW ahead, we couldn't risk being without a spare, so we set our sights on Savannah just a few miles ahead of us. We got off the hook just after 9 with the goal of reaching Isle of Hope Marina some 19 miles ahead, where we could get ashore and to a Napa store. With favorable current, we made our way into the Ogeechee River. We were able to sail a while and made 4 to 5 knots before furling the jib and heading through Hell Gate. You can see Hell Gate here. Hell Gate is a narrow cut, and there was a lot of current, and we struggled with some leeway that's slipping sideways before turning north up the Vernon River. And that's when the current really picked up. Despite these navigational challenges, there were beautiful homes all along this stretch of the ICW. It continued to be slow going until we turned into the Brunswick River. We motor sailed a bit more and passed through one more bridge at Skidaway Narrows. We had plenty of air draft as evidenced by the tide board for our 64-foot mast. We arrived at Isle of Hope around 2 p.m. We dropped the anchor and watched it for a good hold before taking the dinghy to shore. Isle of Hope does have a loaner car, but you need to be a paying slip holder to use it. So a word of caution here. Uber and Lyft are a struggle, and the cab companies were only taking voicemail messages. I won't get into the level of stress we experienced trying to secure a ride, but eventually Uber worked out, and we got to a Napa with 2 minutes to spare. We asked our driver to wait for us so he could take us downtown as we were eager to experience historic Savannah, even if that meant just some quick wandering, a little window shopping, and to treat ourselves to dinner. We loved the little bit that we saw, and the Fitzroy was a wonderful choice for dining. With our hunger satisfied, and the bittersweet taste of just dipping our toe into all that Savannah has to offer, we headed back to the boat for an unsettled evening of swinging in the shifting currents. We awoke to a glorious morning and headed off around 9:30. After a short leg the day before, we felt like we needed to make some distance. Just up around the bend, we passed Skidaway Oceanographic Institute with its impressive research vessel docked at the pier. Seeing the institute really set the mood for us, and we were in for a wonderful day. So this is the University of Georgia's Marine Science campus, I guess. And then right next to it is the Skidaway Oceanographic Institute. Don't really know much about them, but they've got a pretty nice vessel there. Pretty cool. A nice place to go to school. We wound our way down the Skidaway River until it joined the Wilmington River. Ahead on a sharp bend to port was Thunderbolt, the home to a robust yachting industry and where many also stopped to visit Savannah. Here you can really see some impressive vessels. There are also some impressive homes along the waterway as well. We were officially past Savannah when we joined the Savannah River with Sharktooth Island to starboard. Here you can see some folks prospecting for fossilized teeth. Getting across the busy Savannah River was quick. Cutting across at nearly right angles, we passed a major dredging operation attending to the ever-shifting sands of the ICW. And just like that, we were in South Carolina. For just a precious few hours, we were back in wilderness again as we passed through the Turtle Island Wildlife Management Area. Again, we experienced beautiful marshes and the wildlife of the tidal low country. Here are a couple of photographs I took along this stretch. The second is Hague Point Light, which told us we were entering Calibogue Sound, with Hilton Head Island dead ahead. There was suddenly a wave of activity with speedboats pulling parasailing tourists off of Harbor Town. Working our way up the sound, we soon passed under the Hilton Head Bridge and into the narrow passage of Skull Creek. Skull Creek led us directly to Port Royal Sound, where we were sailing once again. We quickly crossed the sound and turned almost 180 degrees to enter the Beaufort River and the final stretch of the day. Unexpectedly, we found ourselves looking at Parris Island. Parris Island has a rich history dating back to 1562 when it was first settled by the French and then coming under Spanish control just 4 years later. It is also home to the Marine Corps Recruit Depot, where they've been training Marines since 1915. Being late in the day, we made our final turn and selected the Naval Hospital anchorage just south of our intended destination of Beaufort, South Carolina. We retreated to a bugle call and the honor guard lowering the flag. We had now covered over 400 miles and setting our sights on the midway point of our journey.